Welcome back. Okay, so we're ready to create a new class for our ammunition. So we're going to go ahead and go down into our C++ classes/shooter folder, right click and create a new C++ class. Now we're going to base this on the item class. So click show all classes and type in item, and this is our item actor class that we created. So we're going to base our new class off of item, click next, and we're going to call this ammo. Go ahead and click create class and let the class creation wizard create the class for us. Okay, so we've created our ammo class, and here we have ammo.h and ammo.cpp. Now the first thing we're going to create in our ammo class is a constructor, and we're going to put that in a public section. So go ahead and make a public section and create a ammo constructor. And we'll go ahead and create an ammo constructor body definition in ammo.cpp. So this is going to be a ammo : a ammo. Just like that. So now we have a constructor. Now next in ammo.h, we're going to create a private section, and this is going to be for our private variables. Now the first thing we're going to add to our private variables is a static mesh component so that we can have a ammo mesh. So why don't we go ahead and create a u static mesh component. It's going to be a pointer, and we're going to call this ammo mesh, and we'll give this a u property. So let's say u property, and we'll make this visible anywhere, blueprint read only, and category equals ammo, and we'll say meta equals allow private access true. Okay, perfect. Now let's give this a comment, and we'll just say mesh for the ammo pickup. And just below our private section, we're going to add another public section, and this is going to be for our public getters. So we're going to first make a force inline u static mesh component returning function called get ammo mesh, and that way we'll get our ammo mesh. So let's make this const and have it return ammo mesh, and we're all set up. Now next we need to construct our ammo mesh in the constructor. So in ammo.cpp, we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's say ammo mesh equals create default subobject, and this will be of type u static mesh component. And then we need to go ahead and give this a name, and we'll call this ammo mesh. Now we're going to set this ammo mesh to be the root component. So we're going to say set root component. We're going to use ammo mesh. So we'll give this a comment and say construct the ammo mesh component and set it as the root. Now let's go ahead and compile this. Now here in the editor, we're going to create a blueprint based on ammo, and we're going to create a folder to stick this in first. So in the _game folder, we're going to go ahead and create a new folder, and we're going to call this ammo. Now in ammo, this is where we will stick our new ammo blueprints. So go back down to the C++ classes and right click on ammo, create blueprint based on this, open the drop down for _game and select ammo. This is going to be called ammo 9mm BP. And go ahead and create blueprint class, and you'll see that we've got a whole bunch of things by default because we're inheriting them from the item class. Now the root is going to be the ammo mesh, and we can select this static mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and dock this tab at the top so I can come back and look in our assets folder, go into meshes, ammo, and there is our shells 45. So I'm going to select that here for the static mesh in ammo mesh. I'm going to select shells 45. And there are our shells. Okay, cool. Now we can adjust some things. We have our area sphere here. That's going to be a little bit bigger, so we can stretch that out to something like this. We have our collision box here, and it looks like our collision box is centered at the origin of the mesh, and the origin of the mesh is at the bottom of the mesh. So we can actually take our collision box and move it up a little bit. So go ahead and move the collision box so that it's encompassing the mesh and it's actually shaped correctly. We can use the R key to stretch it in that direction. We can shrink it in the Z direction. And so this way we'll actually have it encompassing the area of the mesh. So, it doesn't have to be perfect. That looks just about right. Now you'll see that we have our collision box, our pickup widget, and our area sphere all attached to the item mesh. But since our ammo has the ammo mesh as its root, we're going to attach these to the ammo mesh instead. So let's go back into Visual Studio in the constructor, and let's set those to attach to the root. So the first one is going to be our widget. Now we can open up item.h to see what these variables are called. We have collision box, pickup widget, and area sphere. So here in ammo.cpp, we're going to say collision box, setup attachment, and we're going to just simply say get root component, and it will attach to the root component. Now for collision box, we need to add the include for that. In fact, we need to do that for the collision box, the box component, and the sphere component. So we can go ahead and add those here by going into item.cpp and getting box component, widget component, and sphere component, and taking all three of those includes and pasting them here in ammo.cpp. So we have our collision box. We also need to get our pickup widget and our area sphere. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say pickup widget, setup attachment, get root component, and area sphere, setup attachment, get root component. Now they should all be attached to ammo mesh, which is the root. Okay, so next we want a tick and a begin play function. Now tick is going to be in a public section. So I'm going to stick it way up here in the public section. It's going to be virtual void tick. It takes a float called delta time, and this will be an override. We also want begin play, and that's going to be in a protected section. I'm going to stick that protected section right here. And this will be virtual void begin play override. Now we can go ahead and add some definitions for these functions. So here in ammo.cpp, I'm going to create the tick function. So void a ammo tick takes a float called delta time. And the first thing I'm going to do is call super tick and pass in delta time. I'm going to do the same thing for begin play. So this is going to be void begin play, takes no input parameters, and I'm going to call super begin play. And I'm noticing that we're not able to access these three items because we made them private in item. So we actually need to call getters. Now let's go back to item.h and go down to our public section and make sure we have getters for these. We have get pickup widget, we have get area sphere, and we have get collision box. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and use those. So back in ammo.cpp, instead of trying to access collision box, we're going to call get collision box. Here we're going to call get pickup widget, and here we're going to call get area sphere. Okay, so we have those set up. We also have tick and begin play set up. We're now ready to compile this and see what it looks like in the blueprint. So let's go ahead and compile. And you probably noticed my mistake here for begin play. I didn't use a fully qualified function name. I need that A ammo there to get rid of that error. So let's compile this again. All right, we've compiled, and it looks like all of these components are now attached to ammo mesh, which is the root. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and now take a look at the details panel under item properties. It looks like we have some properties here. So we're going to want to be able to pick up our ammo, and it's going to fly up in the air just like the weapon does when we pick up the weapon, which means we need an item Z curve. So go ahead and select the item Z curve for the item Z curve variable here. Now for item scale curve, we're going to select item scale curve. And for pickup sound, we're going to go ahead and select some pickup sounds. Now, for pickup sound, let's go ahead and just use the swipe 1 cue. And for equip sound, let's take a look in our game/assets/sounds/rifle folder and take a look at what other cues we have. When we equip it, we might want something like, this sounds pretty good, SW Wep Launcher Dryfire 01 cue. I'm going to go ahead and rename that because that's a big mouthful. And I'm going to call this ammo equip. And we'll go ahead and select that for the equip sound. Ammo equip, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to conclude this video. We now have an ammo 9mm BP blueprint that we have based on the ammo class. In the next video, we will continue implementing ammunition. Stay tuned.